Hello class, this is just a quick video to discuss part 1 of our research project. So, before we get into the nitty-gritty of how to construct part 1 of the research project, let's talk about globally what you're doing with part 1 of the research project. So, for the first part of the research project, your main task is to summarize the research you found about burnout during your investigations. Remember, you are asked to find 3 pieces of research on burnout. Could do with any of the topics or issues raised by Ansfield's essay or even Peterson's essay. You need to find those sources and read them. In this step, you will summarize each of those sources, 1, 2, 3, accurately cite them, and then provide a paragraph where you will tell me what you have now learned about doing the research, what you personally have learned. So, summaries. Why am I having you do a summary at the beginning of the research project as part 1? Very simple. Summaries are hugely beneficial for any major college writing project, especially research projects, and especially if you are interested in any sort of technical or scientific or STEM-based writing. Summaries also show readers that you have understood the material, and then you can present that to them. And then finally, it allows me as an instructor to see how well you have understood the context of our major themes and topics. So, summary reminders. First thing to remember, don't quote in the summarized material. The summary material should be paraphrase only. Paraphrase, remember, is you putting what you have read in your own language. Okay. Number 2, your job is not to restate the entire essay that you've read. All right? Only summarize just the most essential parts, just the key points. Remember, you're only doing a paragraph. You can't talk about the whole essay. Right? Finally, use your own language. The summary should be your own voice telling me what you have read. Right? So, as obviously the first thing for any summary, read the passage. All right? We have that material on how to read academic essays. You can review that. All right? Do active reading strategies, which some of you have posted about. It's very nice to hear your active reading strategies. Keep those up. Use them in every class. They're great. All right. Remember, you can't summarize without reading. Next part of summaries, when you get to the writing perspective, all right, as we sort of talked about, use your own words. Remember, a summary isn't where you are presenting your feelings about what you have read. All right. In the summary, you are just telling me what the writers of your articles have said. Next, use the author or authors' names of your essays a lot. I'll give some examples. Smith argues, Brown notes. All right. One of the things that students don't do is they don't use the name of the author who wrote the piece when they summarize. Think about when you read something online or you read something in a newspaper. They use the person's name a lot, their last name. All right, do that. Finally, write it in what is called the historical present tense. Basically, you don't need to write in past tense. You don't need to pretend that you wrote it with the ed past tense phrase. Just write it as if you are talking about it right now. So, what are you looking about when you write your summaries for this project? As a reminder, you're going to write 3 paragraphs. 1, 2, 3, 1 for each piece of research that you've found. Okay? You are going to summarize only the main ideas and supporting details of that piece. Right? 1 for each. You don't have to do the whole thing. All right? Don't have to summarize the entire essay. Just what is the main idea of essay number 1? What is a supporting detail, a piece of evidence, a quote that proves that essay? Remember, you're putting this in your own words. Then you do that 2 more times. Right? The whole thing about summary is you're not writing it differently. You're writing it the same way 3 different times. Who wrote it, main idea, supporting detail, on to the next one. You do that 3 times. Next, in the last part, you tell me what you have learned about your research project. This is the last paragraph. All right. This is where you are now no longer summarizing. In this paragraph, the 4th paragraph of part 1, you're just going to tell me, what did you learn? What did you learn about burnout and the ideas presented in Ansfield's essay and the podcast and Peterson's essay? What do you know more now that you have done this research? And finally, to format this, set it exactly like this. Title here, copy and paste summary 1. Title of the second one, copy and paste summary 1, and then evaluating the sources. And that's it for part 1. Also, if you need more advice on the technical writing, general advice on writing summaries, please refer to the other video in Unit 2. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing your drafts.